Anthony, Casey Hayward on Monday told us he was talking about the defense, and when the guy makes a mistake, it has the potential to be a huge mistake, which seems like it's happening a lot. Are there ways to mitigate that and kind of lower the risk, or is that something that just with Gus's system that's part of the deal, or is that just part of the deal in the NFL playing
No,
defense?
I mean, guys have to take proper angles. Guys have to tackle when they're supposed to tackle. We have eraser tacklers, and we haven't made some of those plays, and we've taken some poor angles, and we've got to get better at those deals. But if we can't, then we have to change our scheme a little bit and do something differently. And Gus is ready to do that.
So what Casey's talking about, is it more just individual play as opposed to something that's with the scheme?
Casey takes a lot of accountability for his play, his teammates' play, and they do a good job in the back end of holding each other accountable. So, there's some things that they're working out back there that I know that's going to get corrected because they wanted to. And this system, I mean, for the first half, I mean, helped the Broncos to a very few yards. So, I don't think you have to do too much to it, but you may have to tweak it a little bit at certain times.
Where did that kind of develop? Not harping on the pass play and just moving on.
Yeah, it's going through experience. That's making a bunch of poor decisions and learning from it. And, adversity is going to happen. I'm going to make mistakes during the game, and I'm going to throw incompletions and interceptions. But it's all about how you react to that. And there's so much football to be played. There's so much time in the game that you can't harp and you can't dwell on one play. You have to move on, and you have to get back, and you have to find a way to get back after it and make up for that play.
Are you like that as well in the film room when you're watching film and you're kind of examining, oh my God, I could have hit Keenan there or stuff like that? Are you just, it's more about a learning process than critiquing yourself and learning from that stuff?
Yeah, it's never personal. I make a bunch of mistakes during the games, and the day the coaches don't bring that up is the day that I'm worried about. And I'm all in about getting better every day, and to be the best team that we can be, I need to be the best quarterback that I can be. And so you're going to make mistakes, and I'm going to overthrow guys and things like that, but it's all about learning and getting better the next time.
And last question for me, the relationship between a center and a quarterback is very important. Just how have you felt? Obviously Dan has been there ever since you took over, but just how has it felt having him as your center, and how do you feel like the relationship has evolved?
Dan's been awesome. He's one of those guys that, when I first got drafted, we reached out immediately, and we got to talking and kind of lifted together when we were down in Southern California. So he's been great throughout this whole process. Has helped me a bunch, and I think he's done a great job on that offensive line. And he's kind of controlling that offensive line. He's pointing out things, and really glad to have him on our side of the ball.
What have you seen thus far with Josh Jacobs? I mean, he's had 5 TDs and only fumbled once, but he's really a powerful runner, really helps lead that offense. What do you guys have to do to contain him and prevent him from not getting going?
Oh, man, we got to get 11 hats to the ball because he's a great runner and he runs hard. So, and that's one thing we try to hold in on, just getting 11 hats to the ball.
Thanks, Melvin.
Yep.
Gilbert.
Hey, Melvin, being a team captain and being one of the most vocal players on the team, do you take it upon yourself to go to each player and say, hey, it's a long season, we can get this back right on track?
No, I don't do that because that's already understood. When every man in that locker room know what we're trying to do and know what we need to do to get to where we were trying to go. So you don't have to do that.
And Melvin, it seems like the coaches are taking a lot of heat for the blown leads. How much do the players want to win for the coaches to take some pressure off them?
Yeah, it ain't just the coaches, man. It's all of us. We all in this together, so it's a collective thing. So it ain't just the coaches, it ain't just the players. It's all us in this together.
Does it feel like everybody's still on the same page?
Yeah, we definitely on the same page.
And lastly, Coach, this streak of you guys giving up double-digit leads in the last games, have you been able to put a finger on this and kind of get this turned around? What's your answer to that?
Yeah, you know what? It's a great question. It's something that we've been looking at. I mean, we try to attack it in the bye week. And, that's where, Coach Lynn has always come up. He's been great. His message is so consistent about we win and lose as a team. And that message has been so clear. But in situations like this, you take it personal. Here you have, I think we had in the Denver game 10 series where they averaged 3.5 plays a series, and we gave up a touchdown. And there's times when I look at it and I go, that's exactly how it should look like. That is exactly the touchdown that they got on a run. That's on me. I ran a pressure, and we put an inexperienced player in a position to make the play. We really hadn't showed them that play in practice and to that set. So, I take responsibility for that one. But overall, just watching it, sensing it, how we were playing, it felt like, hey, this is how it looks. This is, we get an interception, give our offense an opportunity. But then, then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, when you have the lead like we do, really you're looking at time. And the only way a team like that could come back is if they score quickly. And, they scored in 2 plays. Some execution things we got to work on. Also penalties. We had a couple penalties within a drive, that gave them better field position. So as we look at it, it comes down to execution. And that's on me. I got to look at our players and make sure that not asking too much of them in these situations. And, it seems like a broken record a little bit, but, we just got to, keep going through these growing pains at times with that. And, they hurt and I hurt. And, that's how you're going to get it right.
Shane, what have you seen from the Raiders defense? Jonathan Abram, Max Crosby, guys like that. Just what have you seen from film on those guys?
They're an aggressive attacking defense. They play with a lot of passion, a lot of energy. Abram, he's got a lot of juice. He flies around the field. And then Crosby, obviously going against them last year, he's a high motor guy as well. And then their linebacking core inside, again, good tacklers. D-line plays hard and physical. And obviously some of their DBs, we've been against those guys, a couple of those guys in the past. So it's gonna be a heck of a challenge. They're playing good football, but we're excited about it.
Do you feel like they vastly improved from last year to this year?
Do I think they vastly improved?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they get better every year. I mean, being under their same coaching staff, I think this is their 3rd year now under that staff. So they're getting better. They had a big win against Cleveland. I think Cleveland only had 6 possessions, total possessions on offense. And they're doing a heck of a job right now, and they had a big win against Kansas City. So, like I said, it's going to be a heck of a challenge for us on Sunday.
What were the emotions going through you after that game, after giving up that game against the Broncos?
I mean, it's just losing. I hate to lose more than I like to win, and I mean that's period. I mean, and it's not just that game. I mean, I'm like that after any game I lose. So, I just hate losing, and I mean that's just as simple as I can keep it. But it's a sickening taste in my mouth when I lose. So, I just want to be able to come in here and, get better and continue to go out there and do what we need to do so we can win games.
And now going to this week, you guys face the Raiders. Josh Jacobs, can you talk about just him at the running back position and just what have you seen from him on film? I don't believe you played him in college, but just what you've seen from him on film.
I mean, obviously he's a good back. I actually did play him in college my sophomore season. So, he was a good back then, and he's still a good back, right now. So it's going to be extremely important for us to, be sound and just go out there and fly around to the football.
Lastly, you played with a pretty good quarterback in Green Bay, and you play with a pretty good quarterback right now. Can you talk about some of the similarities that you see within their game?
Well, I mean, I think that I'm not going to compare Herbie and Aaron. I don't think that's. I'm just not going to do that. But I'll say this: Justin has shown so much poise from that first start against Kansas City till now, and his growth and just his comfort. Not only once the ball is in his hands, but in the huddle and taking control of things. And seeing that growth has been it's been fun, and seeing his confidence grow. You don't see, after he throws a pick on the first series, he didn't shy away from anything. He went right back at it. And obviously he doesn't want to throw interceptions, and we don't want to give up sacks, things like but that's football. That's part of it. It's part of learning. It's part of growing, and you don't see him get shy once those negative things happen. And that's a good sign for a young guy, no matter if it's a quarterback or any position from that matter. If you have a mistake, you get right back up the next series and you go again, and that's in the rearview mirror. So I think he's done a great job, and it's been fun to see him grow from week to week in his confidence.
Just wanted to ask you, what makes you believe that Anthony Lynn could turn it around and start getting some wins and piling them up and get into a groove?
In terms of us having an opportunity to do that, it works as a team. You know, Anthony is, you said Anthony Lynn, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
Anthony's a good football coach. Obviously, he wouldn't be a head coach if he wasn't. I had him when he was a young player. He was a good player when he played. He has a great mindset, a great resolve. We had a chance to talk a little bit this week, and his structure is strong. You know, it's hard to bend steel, and Anthony is made of steel. And he's trying to put that on our football team to give them the strength and support as well as the coaching staff. And we all follow Anthony. Anthony's he's a heartbeat. And as long as he leads, we're going to have an opportunity to follow. He's doing a great job leading.
If you like that video, check out more.